Kenny Holt, my man, how you doing?
I'm Randy. I'm feeling good. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Terrence Watson, my man, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm frozen for a second for some
Oh
reason, but
boy,
let's give it
nothing
2
new.
seconds.
Nothing new on this show, man.
Hey, we all good.
Nothing
We all
new. We're
cooking
used to this by
gravy out
now.
here.
Oh man. Anyway, I give Terrence a few seconds to get back on track. You can follow Kenny on Twitter at Cowabunga Ken. Hold on, Cowabunga _K_E_N. Myself, Randy J. Cruz, RENDY, letter J C R U Z, and Terrence Watson at Lower East Scribe. Find the podcast on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, also on Amazon Music. Go to youtube.com/ Cruise Control Podcast. Go ahead, download, rate, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Show some love and support for your boys on the program. We are doing this live following NXT Roadblock Tuesday, March 11th. So anybody watching, any comments, questions, feedback, hit us up in the chat and we'll get to it on the show. Also, don't want to forget, ProWrestlingTees.com/Cruise Control for the official 2 out of 3 Falls podcast t-shirt. Again, ProWrestlingTees.com/Cruise Control for the official 2 out of 3 Falls podcast t-shirt. Again, show some love and support for your boys on the program. Again, we're doing this live on YouTube and on X. Any questions, comments, feedback from Roadblock tonight, from Raw last night, maybe SmackDown on Friday, whatever it is. So let's start a little backwards here. Again, we're doing this at the Roadblock. We've seen a pretty good card, a pretty good show at the theater at MSG. I know Kenny and
Mhm.
I was there last night for Raw at the Garden.
Yeah, buddy.
A great show
Woo!
that was. So pretty much
Man.
a back to back great nights for the company. We have a new NXT Women's Champion and Stephanie Vaquer.
Boom,
Um,
boom, boom.
we had the Hardys come, not come back, but the Hardys defended the TNA titles earlier.
Yep.
That last match with Ethan Page is the street fight was pretty good. Femi heavyweight championship match NXT against Moose, that was pretty good. So a
Yeah.
pretty overall card for Roadblock. So Terrence is in Portland, so it has not aired over there. So we're kind of spoiling things a couple for him. So he's kind of mad. But Kenny, talk about Roadblock, what he saw, and some of the highlights.
Hey, man. All I gotta say is this: whenever WWE comes to New York, it definitely puts out to show out.
That's
Um,
right.
the nostalgia. See the Hardys, Matt and Jeff. They came out,
That's
opened
a
up the
word.
night.
Nostalgia scene. That's a word.
Nostalgia.
Oh, they said nostalgia C. Like
No,
my
nostalgia. My fault. But
bad.
yeah, it just brings the nostalgia. I ain't making up no. I ain't
Yeah,
gonna say no illiterate
I
words. Come on, man.
man. You could do what you want.
Hey, but
Sound good to me.
hey, I'll take. You know what? I'll take the B or C plus. It's all good. But Matt and Jeff nostalgia. It
Mm,
just so good to see them again. Even at their age, like they still were able to do the moves. The match was very fire from both parties. It was very competitive, very good. But Matt and Jeff kept it on. TNA's been doing good with the talent. We saw Roxanne Perez rising face off against Jordan Grace.
mm.
That was really good. Both of them getting
Yeah.
good pops. They're getting good pops. Roxanne's going in with the main roster from Elimination Chamber,
Mm,
Royal Rumble, and now NXT. I think one thing she's doing, she's holding it on her own in NXT, and soon enough, she's gonna make her way to the main roster. But
mhm,
I think one thing with NXT, man, I think what they have is really good. And I feel like the roster, the talent that wants to make it big, they don't need to move yet because that
mm.
platform really showcased them for what they have. I know that's the dream to move up to the next big thing, the next big roster, but
Yeah.
that NXT roster, like, they really are cooking. They really are making something really good. And I think they should, really just don't rush wanting to
Mhm,
go to the main roster just yet because it debuts a lot of things raw on raw talent, just capabilities. They do well. They cut real good promos, so
mm.
it was good. Stephanie, Valkyria, she just won the whole Velasquez. She just won the
Mhm.
time. Now she holding 2 belts.
That's right.
Y2J reference, but she's really doing good. Their women's division's good. Men's divisions, it was just saw Taker give a head nod, like
That's right.
start big Obi. Ooh, ooh. Hands right there. So yeah.
And I think the announcer said, I think the internet will correct him if he's wrong, but I think Stephanie's now the second person in NXT to hold two, I guess in the female division, to hold 2 titles that won 2 singles titles at once. I think the first one was Becky Lynch. So
Yeah.
she's in quite the company. So good match. I had a feeling Stephanie was gonna win the match. Just me. I see Julia, the way she was being introduced, little funny stuff that I noticed, like, she might be taking an L tonight. And then lo and behold, she does. And I know they have Stand and Deliver for WrestleMania weekend. Maybe there's a rematch, so we'll see about that. But I know, Terrence, you haven't seen it. You're probably watching, on social. But talk to me, Roadblock.
Well, I mean, yeah, I haven't seen it just yet, but there were some things that I did.
Be right back. Keep going.
There were some things that I did get a chance to see on Twitter, obviously. And Kenny, you brought up a real good point. The fact that Stephanie, I obviously they're cheats, right? I can't prove any of this, but I did read something somewhere that said something about when Stephanie came to the company, they asked her, "Where do you want to go?" And she chose NXT for a lot of reasons. You said, Kenny, because it's like that. There's no reason to rush. It gave her an opportunity to kind of like get her footing, understand the company a little bit better, and like she wants, to her own admission, apparently, right, to be able to cut promos a little bit better. Which I don't know how you guys feel, but I haven't seen a promo from her that's been that's that outstanding just yet. It's her in-ring presence, right? And y'all know, like I know, once you get to the big leagues, yeah, you can be, as great in the ring as you want to be. The people got to connect to you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so
Facts.
giving herself time to do that because she's so ahead of the game in ring. But if your mic skills, your presence out of the ring have to like catch up. So I'm happy for her, you know what I mean? And this is just another step towards that.
Right.
Hold on. My guy Noob, always appreciate you. And Becky's run with both titles did not last long. I'm not gonna sit here and say I recall who she beat or who she lost to, but yeah, I don't. So Noob, help me out. Is this the latest Becky run when she came back and she was at NXT for a little bit and all that, or this is the original Becky Lynch?
I think he means original because she won the belt from Tiffany Stratton.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it had to be
probably the original. Yeah, because she's holding two at one time. Okay.
So this is beginning stages of Becky.
Oh, so this is Becky 2 belt before Becky 2 belt.
Yeah, 2019.
Oh, see, 2019.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's
wait. So 2019. Hold up. This is before WrestleMania 35, right? Because this is before the whole Ronda Charlotte thing. I'm assuming because this can't be after, right? Unless hold on, am I bugging? The guy said NXT championships.
Yeah, this is NXT, not WWE.
The Raw belt and the SmackDown, but this is NXT titles.
NXT.
Okay.
So this is like when Becky was still like she was doing the main roster, but also going in and out of NXT. She wanted to work through.
Okay. I don't want to spoil things for Terrence, but I think when you get a chance, I thought it was really well done, really well produced show. I never been to a show at the theater at the Garden, so I definitely missed out on that. The crowd was, it definitely had that the feeling of like it's more compact, more intimate feeling. Well, dark lit, everything like more spotlighty. Not like an actual arena or stadium. So I think it definitely won in that department. But from what I see on social, like top to bottom, 5 out of 5, show. that they really did like a PLE pay-per-view show on fucking the CW. So
Yeah.
I mean, kudos to them, and I think we got a nice road coming up to WrestleMania. New women's champion, with Stephanie. Congrats to her. But I like the heavyweight championship match with Femi and Moose. That was really something. Roxanne took the L. The Hardy Boys, they do Hardy Boy stuff. Nothing new, but what that match with Ethan Page, I was like, yo, listen, I don't catch up on NXT like that, but I was like, oh shit, I saw the dude with his face was in the chair, the dude did a spiral. I'm like, yo, what the fuck am I watching?
That New York street fight, that street fight.
That's a fact.
Hey man,
Ice, who wins the Punk Seth? Listen, we might as well go there. So
well, Randy, real quick, I want to
go ahead.
I just want to shout out HBK. Before we move past NXT,
we got you, Ice. We got you, Ice. Give me 1 second. Hold on.
I just said it in the group chat that when you sell out the Garden, they work with Tiffany to give you like a plaque, and I just saw it on Twitter that they gave one to HBK, and it just made me think about like that era and how cool it is that the guys that we grew up on, the guys and the women, right, like that never would have guessed that they'd be the ones running the show one day. And it's just really, it's showing also in the product, right?
Yeah.
I think that it's a big reason why everyone that comes along that goes to NXT and all the other tentacles that they're like, spreading throughout the business, there's a big reason. They're the reason, right? Like it's being able to spot the talent, develop the talent, take care of talent better than maybe they might have experienced. I love it. It's amazing. Can't wait to see more of it. So I just had to stop HBK real quick. The showstopper, stopping the show once more.
So basically, NXT sold out the theater.
Yeah.
So Tiffany gave them like a plaque or an award.
Yeah.
And they do that for any event that sells out.
Yeah, I've seen them do it with other artists from other genres of entertainment. And it was really cool because you could tell Sean was just like, wow, because he's obviously done WrestleMania, done Garden. He's the showstopper, right? We know that.
That's right.
So
the main event, the showstopper, and
right, Mr. WrestleMania, all the names. So to still be in a position to be surprised and like genuinely like appreciative of something, I think is really cool.
But why are you surprised? It's the fact that it's Shawn Michaels. I guess surprised that someone like him would be around today, like give it back to the kids and the young guys and up and coming and really be more what I'm saying, like, are you surprised Sean is this much hands-on with the current product?
I think I'll say this. I think, of course, the three of us were around for both of Sean's runs. Obviously when he came back, he was a different person. But if you would have told me at 11 years old or however old I was when DX was at his peak with him, the first go around, that one day he's going to like clean up his act and he's not going to be the reason why you and your friends get the attention. He's going to be the reason why the next generation of superstars understand storytelling, understand how to work a crowd, understand the psychology. Him, Triple H, Taker, the people who were causing hell and raising hell are now raising a new generation. And I think I'm more surprised by that.
Yeah.
Agreed.
NXT is awesome right now. They put on a great show. There is unlimited potential with guys like Femi. Yeah.
Men's and women's division, unlimited power.
That's a fact. And listen, we've seen different reiterations of NXT. Obviously, the original, the gold standard, the black and gold. We've seen the colorful 2.0. We've seen that wave, and now it's what's the logo now? Black and silver, black and white,
black and silver.
So we're in the black and silver regime with Sean spearheading. Like I don't want to spend all day all night, but I think what they have going on now, it is something special. It's hard for me to compare the black and gold because of how many great people came out of that crowd.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit, like wow. And it was the beginning. It's like, then as time goes on, you go through a revamp and a remix. It's a little dip, the colorful 2.0, and now it's back on the upward spiral with the black and silver. So listen, Sean's a man. I think Terrence, you said it perfectly where it comes down to storytelling. You know, me, I love wrestling. I do. But if there's no story behind it, if there's no reason for me to care about it or be emotionally invested, the wrestling is cool. Just fight, 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 fight. But it's like, what's the purpose? What are we fighting for? What's the beef about? If there's none of that for me, I don't care what corporation, AEW, whatever. It ain't gonna matter to me. So I think NXT is doing a great job, and Sean, he got the shit on lock. And I'm interested in seeing what's gonna happen at Stand Deliver for WrestleMania weekend. So keep an eye out on that. All right, back to Ice.
Yeah,
Punk, Seth, and Roman.
Randy,
So
you gotta share.
Go ahead, Terrence. Come on, man. What you got?
Share, man.
I'll let Kenny go. I feel like you got
another roadblock. You got,
hey,
all I was gonna say is.
Oh no, I was acknowledging my tribal chief. Sorry,
you was doing that. Was... I think you had one more question.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That was
so
cool. Kenny was there at the Garden last night for Raw.
Eating.
I was there. That's why we did not do a show last night.
Woo.
And listen, when any show you do at the Garden, the energy is on a different level. It don't matter if you're in LA, Miami, it don't matter. New York City, the Garden is the Mecca. And then people probably get tired of hearing that, but it's the fucking
It is
truth.
what it is.
So
deal with it.
Just seeing and hearing the buzz of all the matches, just the crowd was into Raw last night. Obviously more for the steel cage. And then you see Punk come out, you see Seth come out, and then the match goes on, and then Roman comes out. It's like, whoa, man. And I had the angle where Roman, like he was running on my side, and I caught the video him running in, sneaking in, because the crowd is cheering, but I guess they don't know what's going on.
Oh,
I guess on the TV side, and then also, oh shit, Roman comes out and whatever. Who wants to go? Because I might do a deep dive, but who wants to stop me? Who wants to go? Go, Kenny, go.
Yeah.
Hey, man, all I got to say is this. If you never experienced watching WWE in the Garden, I don't care about the Staples Center. I don't care about Charlotte Coliseum. I don't care about Phillips Arena. If it ain't the Garden, I don't want to hear it, because New York is the place.
That's right.
Let me just say, I was there up in the 200 seats. I don't care. I got floor seats. I got floor seat dreams, even in the 200s. So I was on the same side. I think you was on, Randy. I know you was at like 106 or so, but I was at 222. And the fans I was with in the area, they were just making it like, yo, that steel cage match is the last one. Everybody, I'm talking about when Seth Rollins' song came on, everybody was, whoa, the whole time, and then waiting. You just hear silence. This you hear that boom, didn't it? Cult of personality, everyone is singing it on the top of their lungs. My section, everyone's like following along, lit. We already predicting what's gonna happen on the cage, awesome shots. But from the fans' point of view, just seeing it, we just saw we were on the right side when we just noticed the light just gets dimmer and there's a spotlight following, and I look down, I'm like, yo, that's Roman, and everyone gets up, we all get up, we looking. We like, yeah, it's about to be something. Like, you could tell how it was. It just buzzed in your back of your mind. You like, is Roman gonna come out? This would be a perfect time to come out. But like, the match was good. It was just good energy. When you saw Roman on the right side, you was on eruption. Everyone just popped.
Eruption.
The excitement. Excuse me. The excitement.
No, I was agreeing with you. Like, you're right.
The excitement, but hey man, it was really good. It turned out phenomenal. Then you saw Paul Heyman. It was that, if that was storytelling, that was just beyond great. That was, man.
So I want to get Terrence involved. I know we were there, and we have a different angle and perspective. But so Terrence, I'm not sure if you saw it live or after.
I watched it while it was happening.
You watched it live.
Yeah.
So what was your overall take of the match itself with Punk and Seth, and then the aftermath of getting Roman Reigns involved, plus the Paul Heyman and CM Punk of it all?
Yeah. I mean, we can start with the match, like you said. I thought the match lived up to it. Like there were a lot of spots where you you could tell, you know, I've explained to people their actual dynamic before, and like, yeah, like they're gonna protect each other because they're professionals.
Yeah.
But they got a couple shots in, and it was like a little bit fun to see that too. And I feel like what I could. It's interesting because again, we were talking about the psychology of everything, even with the NXT guys, right? And obviously these now you're dealing with Seth, now you're dealing with, you know, CM Punk, and now you're dealing with the Tribal Chief. So we're talking about the creme de la creme of psychology. So I was following along, and as they kept opening the door, I was like, oh, that's the thing. That's how we get Roman. Like, and I was like, okay. And it's funny because you guys were there live, but I was the second time they opened the door and they left it open, I was like, okay. And then when I heard the roar, even though you couldn't see it because they had a really tight shot on
Seth.
On Seth,
right?
Yeah. Sitting on top.
But I heard the roar get louder in the garden. So I'm like, oh, I know exactly what's coming. And of course, here comes Roman. And they didn't announce it. They didn't say anything, obviously, like the announcers. But I was like, yeah, here we go. I was just waiting for it, like a little kid or something. Like, and it was awesome to see. Here Roman comes back. Sometimes I will say this. Sometimes it's really cool when they give us exactly what they know we want. You know, when they take us on a journey and they take us on a ride, and The Rock, the final boss, comes back, does this, and throws a wrench in it. It's also awesome because they are, you know, the at the forefront of this. They understand. A lot of them grew up in it. We get it. But sometimes just give us what we want. And right now we want a triple threat match at WrestleMania between the three of them. And what was cool too, to your point, so before I hand it back to you, is seeing that reaction from Roman Reigns when he saw Paul Heyman kind of like talking to CM Punk in the ring. And then of course he had to go get him, you know, a couple pounds of flesh from CM Punk too.
Of course.
It was a great setup because I'm like, you know, and I hope this is a good segue. It made me wonder, well, what's the favor? You know what I mean? I have a guess, but if you want, I can save it. But I do have a guess.
I would say save that convo for next. For me, it's like I felt the match was good, really good. It definitely had like an old school vibe to it. Very kind of hard to explain. It just felt very old school. Old school in the fact that it just wasn't like a lot of weapons in there. It wasn't chairs and tables and this and sledgehammers and all that other bullshit. It just like it's the cage. Me and you got beef. We're gonna settle it. Whether by pinfall, submission, or climbing the fucking the cage. What I've wanted to see someone climb the cage and win it, that's the old school in me, as opposed to a pinfall or, you know, whatever. And then I'm still trying to find the match somewhere where I can hear the commentary. I'm always going to be like, damn, I love going there live, but I'm always like, damn, I want to hear the commentary, what's going on, and just the storytelling. But I also felt what was key and different is that when Roman came out, they didn't play his music.
Yeah,
he just came out.
I thought they was gonna do that, but
that usually when like they do a run, like Cody runs in to save somebody, they play the song. He has to run out like they play for like 12 seconds. Like, nah, this one, the Garden, MSG, main event, steel cage, everybody got beef with each other. Let that man run out, and it was like an ode to like the Shield. The man came from the crowd, like it was the Shield days.
That's a good story. That's a good
and
story.
All he did was grab Seth by the neck, and again, I noticed different things. The way the bell was rung, y'all might think I'm fucking weird. The way the bell was rung was as if it was a DQ.
I thought so too.
It was like ding 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 ding. Like when you hear that fast bell, that it's a this fucking DQ. But when the announcer said, "Oh, and the winner is Seth Rollins," technically Roman took Seth out the fucking cage, and both feet hit the floor, and there's your winner. But the way they rang the bell was like ding 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 ding, ding like he cost him the match. But technically, Seth did win the match because he got out the cage before Punk. then just a Superman punch, and then curb stomping him and everything, spear, and then you see him give Paul Heyman the look. Paul, I don't know where Paul Heyman came from. I seen that. Oh shit! But
came by the announcers.
He's helping CM Punk, and then they see Roman like that smirk, like you fucking kidding me, bro? Like, come on, man! Like this goes in there, fucks up CM Punk, puts the one up, and now you set up this triple threat, because now if anybody says why we getting triple threat, they all got beef with each other. There's a little something that calls back. Obviously, Seth and Roman, you know what's going on. Punk and Roman. Punk helped Roman's team at War Games, but Paul has the favor, Punk is going to collect that favor one way or another. I see on social that this could be the main event of night one. Some are saying this should not be the main event of night one, because the Io Sky and the Bianca and the Rhea story is getting heat. Now they're saying that should be the main event of night one.
Right.
I don't work there. We ain't the bookers. We're going to just only, whatever. But I think it will main event night one. And to Terrence's point, is what is the favor Punk is going to ask Paul? Is it to get me in the main event? Okay, that's cool. Does it involve like the winner of, because they got to fight for something,
right?
To me, and they got to fight for something. Is the favor like, hey, the winner of this match gets a title shot right away at Cena or Cody Rhodes? Because it can't be the favor. Hey, the winner of this match goes on to night two and make that a triple threat. I think that's too much. But the third favor could be aligning Paul Heyman to leave Roman to come with me. Aside from that, there's no other favor that says, "Oh shit, yo, I was blindsided."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to catch people off guard. I think one of those can catch. I think Paul leaving Roman to go with Punk can catch more people off guard than putting me in the main event or putting this stipulation for a future heavyweight championship match. Terrence, the favor, what do you think it is?
Interesting.
I'm in agreement. I think the last thing you said is they threw a lot, to your point, like all the little Easter eggs you named.
Yeah,
that's intentional. We know that, right?
Yeah,
like, that is to throw us off. That is to make us feel like, okay, well, which way are they going to go next? Even though we know it's going to lead to a triple threat match. I think the favor at this point, it's going to be like, have my back. That's what CM Punk is going to ask Paul.
That might be
have his back because now it creates even more tension.
Yeah,
you're Roman's tribal chief. He's your guy. But I think the larger play, I have been thinking about it, and it is super down the line. I have no idea if it even happens within this next year. But I think this is the way to get Paul Heyman, even though he always has his guys. Brock Lesnar is a Paul Heyman guy, right? Like, to CM Punk and Roman Reigns are Paul Heyman guys. There's another up and coming Paul Heyman guy.
Is he currently a champion?
He currently is a champion.
Is he currently Intercontinental champion?
And I think he is a legacy.
I'm about to say,
yeah.
Listen, I think that's what they're trying to do. Like, let's detach him from Roman. Let him spend a little bit of time with CM Punk.
And build something else.
With someone else, I could see it.
Because one of us said it. Listen, if it was me, cool. If it was you, great. I think one of us said it would be nice that if Paul Heyman detached from Roman and go with Punk, and then who said it? Like, we said, like the new Dangerous Alliance.
Yeah,
but it's ran by Paul. If you get Brock to come back,
faction,
you get Punk, but you get newer people. You get like a female on the roster. You get Braun Breaker. You get somebody else that needs Paul to do the mic work for. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see where you're going, but I think that'll be dope but that doesn't make Punk a heel if he does that, right? That wouldn't be like a turn. Oh shit, Paul, you turn and then Punk's a bad guy.
I think it goes back to what we were talking about last week, where it's like there's a third like category now.
Yeah.
You're not a heel. You're not a face. You're just
Like a
kinda,
mercenary.
You're anti-hero.
Yeah, you're the anti-hero. You're a mercenary. You're somewhere in the middle where you just kind of exist and you kind of go for self. And I think CM Punk has low-key always been that person.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like a Austin. You know what I mean? Like follow their own rules and like the crowd kind of loves it. And when you think about it from that perspective, that's exactly who Braun Breaker is. He was supposed to be a heel, but everybody loves his work, and they fucking start screaming and barking with him. And he like him, Jacob Fatu, which imagine Jacob Fatu going with that faction. Like, Christ. But
and
I'm just saying,
it goes back to I think the story was, again, I don't know if it's kayfabe or not, but I think the story was that Punk was the one that founded or created the Shield. That he founded Seth and Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns.
Wow.
In that 2012 era, and then they came on the roster. They was supposed to help him or protect him from Ryback, whatever. I don't know if it's kayfabe or not, but that was the story. So if Punk is gonna go with Paul and find like his new shield of people, of younger guys like the Braun Breakers of the world, that might force Roman. We're thinking far ahead, but like Paul builds his team with Punk, and then Roman has to get the bloodline back together again with the Jimmy and Jay and Sami Zayn and do all that, or like would you get a new faction for Paul and that's it?
I think you probably get it'll be good to get a new faction. Maybe you switch it up with Paul, Punk. You probably build it up like Terrence said with Braun Breaker. You probably give we already know Bianca's probably not going to be in it. Maybe you get a Naomi. Maybe we'll see how it goes.
I can see Jade in there.
Jade,
Yeah.
Jade can grow in there. I say you get like maybe someone from NXT. So you just switch it up from all different branches or so, and they're all different. They're not all connected.
Which, to your point, Kenny, this is why the importance of the draft comes in.
Yeah, the draft.
So now NXT guys and girls are going to come up in the draft and like, oh, okay. Like we know Punk is a fan of Roxanne. She might be one of the people he's going to put in his faction. Like you got to think like you got to get the girls in there. I fuck with Braun Breaker. If it's Punk, if it's Paul, Punk, Braun. Cause Braun's like what? Your newer modern day. That's like your Brock Lesnar to a degree. Like I don't need Brock, but that's your new modern day Brock.
Muscle.
Your muscle.
Yeah.
Because it's either him or Jacob. And I don't think Jacob would go with Punk on that. I think Jacob would align with Roman Reigns than anything else. And then you add one more person.
Maybe a tag team.
You might get a tag team.
Maybe a tag team might fall into it.
Like what tag team you think Punk would?
I feel like the Profits crossed my mind. Maybe the Street Profits crossed my mind. Something about the Street Profits, they crossed my mind for it.
Okay. Thank you, Ice. I appreciate it. Yeah, we're just spitballing. This is what we do. We just we don't know if anybody's watching and getting ideas from us, but in the next couple of months, you see a new Dangerous Alliance. You could thank Terrence in the middle.
Yeah, give him the coins, baby.
Oh man, and if you look at it, Paul has been with Roman for like, it may not feel like long, but all right, bro, 5 years. It's pandemic.
Yeah,
you've been rocking with Roman, and Roman kicked you out before,
right?
Took you back. So 5 years is crazy, bro. Paul, wow. And now it's time to really be like Roman's by himself. Roman's truly by himself. And see where that goes, and maybe to go back to the favorite, maybe the favorite is the winner gets a title shot at SummerSlam. Or that match has to be for something, bro. It can't just be because I think no matter what, you still got to get Seth and Roman for this shit. Like I mean, if they do a triple threat and their beef ain't really over, I think Punk has a spirit to something else, and then Roman and Seth go over here. Because we ain't seeing Seth and Punk no more. That's done. So now how do we unless you go to Roman and Punk?
T, what you think?
I feel like it's forever beef. Like, like I feel
It
like
don't matter.
I feel
I
like
hear
it's
you.
forever smoke with like unless we somehow get some sort of the three, the only two who I could even see kind of coming back together is, and this would be crazy, but it would probably be Seth and Roman. I feel like CM Punk is just he's such like a renegade. And
We mean together. Me like one
I
on
mean,
one or tag.
like not maybe not tagging, but like they're good. They're in a good place. You know what I mean? Like I don't think it would come, or maybe there is a situation where, you know, not that the Shield gets back together, but
Yeah.
you know what I'm trying to say? Like I
Mhm.
think that maybe of the three of them, the only two that it would be like we had such a collision that now, you know, and they say it all the time, even sometimes on the show, like they're more frenemies than anything. They always got beef, but they always got respect. Like they know that like they're the two that kind of help elevate and like they need each other. You know, they say that, you know, in interviews, they say it on the show, and they know that they're kind of like the one and the two. For this
So
generation.
let me ask you this. I know we've seen him before one on one at the Rumble. As a fan,
Mhm.
are you more geared up to see Seth Roman again one on one with the current characters that they are now, or are you more like, nah, I got to see Roman and Seth like, you know, make amends and get back together?
I want them to fight. I want them to hate each other. I'm saying down the line, I could see like this is like a super down the line. Maybe at some point they kind of bury the hatchet, but I'm saying like this feels like smoke for quite some time, and it doesn't like I'm with you that the match, even though it has a lot of gravity to it anyway, right? And that's why it works at Mania because it's such a big match. They don't need a belt. It's just about look at these legends going at it. It would add just that little extra spice, right? That little extra sazon, if you will.
Yeah.
That's right.
It somehow meant something. So I do like where you're going with like, yo, you know, like let's sprinkle a little like, okay, winner of this.
In there.
Went like gets to face Cody at King of the Ring or whoever is charged champion at that point. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I haven't figured that part out yet, but I do like the aspect of it meaning a little bit more.
So Kenny, right now, does this make you feel like, all right, cool, this should be the main event of night one of WrestleMania? Like I'm sold. I'm solid. The drama is there. The storytelling is there. You got me locked in. Seth, Roman, and Punk lock me in. Night one, main event. I got no problems.
Absolutely. I mean, we already seen like it's all spilling out from before into a big domino effect. Seth's hate towards CM Punk is spiraled out to wanting to make sure Punk doesn't achieve anything, but in that domino effect and knocked over Roman's domino. So, and with that, he probably still look back at the fallen pieces like, oh, you hit me in the back at WrestleMania with that chair. So you know what? Boom, I don't like you either. So this is now just a whole domino of hate going around, like hate in hands. That's what's just going around. And I think it's a lot. And I think it's just building up, especially I like how they're doing it. Like Seth, they're building up Seth's everything gravitates and orbits around make sure CM Punk doesn't have anything. And now with that, this is about Punk, you know, saying like, I don't know what is it that you hate about me, but guess what? I'm gonna beat you senseless, even if it's an inch of my life.
That's right.
And Roman's like, let me just tell you something straight right now. I don't like both of y'all. Like F both of y'all, but you both are in my way and you're getting on my last nerve. So I feel like Roman came out as the oldest big brother to try to stop his younger siblings. You know, younger brother Seth, but like distant cousin CM Punk. So
that's right.
I feel as though this is just going to be great. Keep it night one, Randy. I think this is gonna set it off, and I think what happens night one between that triple threat match, excuse me, you might see something carry over to night two.
You never know. T, are you so solid that this is the main event for night one, triple threat match?
Well, first of all, somebody get hating hands on a T-shirt. I like that, Kenny.
Hate in hands. Yes, yes.
We need that. I love that.
Double H. Not Triple H, but
Somebody
Double
hit
H.
Triple H and tell him we need that Double H.
That's right.
I don't know, man. As much as I feel like it could go that way, but let me ask
what is
question.
making you?
Do y'all think it's disrespectful to Gunther and Jay to not have them headline, or the triple threat match between Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair? Like,
if you ask me,
titled close out the show is my point.
If you ask me right now,
yeah,
I think the story of the triple threat Punk, Seth, and Roman, and the drama it adds, it's overtaking the Gunther Jey Uso. The Io Sky and the Rhea, I know she's gonna get inserted. And Bianca is catching up though. Cause we saw last night the Garden, and Bianca and Rhea were beefing. Io Sky's like, yo, chill, and then she kind of gets lost in the shuffle, and then they push Io twice. She smacks Bianca, she smacks Rhea, and it's like, yo, hold up, yo, I'm the champ. Fuck it, respect me. Both y'all wilding right now. And now it's like, oh, okay, like where's it gonna go? Could it main event? I think it could main event. I just think the story, the dramatics, the hatred, the beef, and listen, it's CM Punk, it's Seth Rollins, and it's Roman Reigns. Like Roman Reigns has main evented how many main events in WrestleMania now? 8?
About 8, just about 8.
The most of all time.
He's on a LeBron run right now.
LeBron run. I just saw. I say that John Cena. This would be John Cena's 6th WrestleMania main event. So he's already eclipsed John Cena. He's over The Rock and Austin and Hulk Hogan. So Roman Reigns, hey, add one more main event too. But I think maybe if you add the stipulation, the winner gets a title shot. All that. Ooh, now, the Jay and Gunther. I would love to see it, but I feel today that might be more like mid-card or an opener.
Okay.
Oh
no,
okay.
I'm not saying what I would do. I got the feeling this is what. Listen, we've seen plenty of mid-card matches steal the show, right or wrong.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But like, I think 2% tells me Gunther still retains, but I don't want that to happen though. I think Jay needs to win at WrestleMania.
He does. We said this already.
Terrence, like, yo,
what you got to say, T?
You kind of brought me back with the opener because I know we've talked about that. Where I'm like, if you don't go first and you're that big of a draw, you should go first. To blow the hinges off the door, particularly at Mania, and as big of a Mania as this is shaping up.
Yeah.
Where
I fear it's going to open up.
Going to be the mid card. I wouldn't be mad at let's start with night one with with like so okay. Let's fantasy.
I'm good. My bad. I'm good with mid card because again, I don't know what I don't know where the mindset was, but like, and this is back when one night WrestleMania, like when Kofi Mania was going crazy and Daniel Bryan. You could say, hey, that could be man because just the momentum of Kofi Mania, but that was in the mid card. I mean, granted, one night WrestleMania at that time. But still, it was in the mid card, and he had crowd was still into it. They cheered Kofi Mania. They chanted. They were still awake. It was like 9:00 at night, and they were still up for that match, even though it was in the middle of the card. I'm just saying, Jay and Gunther are on a very, very tough spot. No fault of their own. It just you got all this stuff going on, and the storyline wise, it's just bigger than the World Heavyweight Championship right now. The story with EO and them. Bigger. The story with Punk and them, bigger. John Cena and Cody Rhodes, come on. The Rock, no way. It just they're in a tough spot right now, and it's like I feel bad because Jay deserves that main event spot. He is main event Jey Uso. The Yeet Mania is going crazy. The Yeet Wave is going crazy. But I'm like, I'm trying to find a way it doesn't deter that if you do open up or if you are mid card, it shouldn't take away from that.
I feel like you sold me on having them open, and if I was gonna fantasy book it between just those three, right? Right now, as of today, like you said, given where the popularity is and where the heat of the storylines are, I would, out of respect, open up, because you also got to consider respect for the belt. And
yeah,
you know what I mean? You don't want the belt to become what the IC belt has become, no disrespect to the IC belt, but that used to be the second most important belt. Now it's like the last of the mid-carder belts. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not, the heavyweight is like, okay, you're in that conversation. So I feel like to that point, if you have it open up, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. To put it in the middle, I don't know if I would love it. I would go Jey Uso and Gunther, open up the show again, blow the doors off the hinges. Let's start.
Okay, before you go further, open up night one or
yeah,
yeah.
When I say
the
the
first
show,
match, the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm only talking about night one. I'm only talking about
night
one right now. I would have, even though it feels a little weird to go triple threat match, I would have the undercard be the women's championship between Bianca, Rhea, and Io, and then I would have Seth, CM Punk, and Roman.
I don't think they have both triple threats on the same night.
I'm just saying where I would go. I mean, because I feel like, okay, so what would you put, Charlotte and Tiffany as the undercard?
Triple threat, Punk, Seth, and Roman main event night one. The other triple threat, Io, Rhea, and Bianca is on night two.
I would do
Charlotte
that.
and Tiffany, I think, is night one.
Night one.
You got to separate the chip matches, right?
Yeah, you do.
The triple threat matches get separated. Jay
opens up night one. I'm okay.
Jay and Gunther open up night one with the World Heavyweight Championship, and then night two of the whole entire shebang is Cena and Cody for the main title. And that's the arc that you have.
Let's four corner it then. What opens and what closes night one and night two? So what opens WrestleMania, right? What closes night one? What opens night two? And I think we all know what closes night two. That has to be Cena versus Cody. So that's fine.
Yeah.
Where else do you put these four other really important matches? And what are those four matches, honestly?
I think Jay and Gunther open up night one.
Okay.
You open up that match. Yeetamania, the Yeet wave is gonna go crazy in Vegas. Uso, Jay Wiz. And then the end of night one is the triple threat match between Roman, Seth, and Punk. That's just gonna, with that night one, that ending is gonna create something new that's gonna happen right after WrestleMania. Like I said, it might go into night two.
Yeah.
Opening night two of Mania.
It's a great question.
I won't be surprised. I will not be surprised if they do the women's triple threat match. That will possibly happen.
Why are you making that face, Reggie?
I probably won't be surprised.
Because that means Rhea Ripley is opening a WrestleMania back-to-back years.
But we've talked about it. I feel like
I'm just saying, but
I don't think it's wrong. I think it's cool. I think it's good.
My fault, Kenny. All right, so you open up with Rhea and them, and then you're gonna close out with Cena and Cody.
Yeah, I mean, what other? I mean, who else would you put to start? I mean, if night one's going to be epic with that triple threat and Jay winning, you already know Cody and Cena going to end last. So you gotta, how you gonna match that same energy to open it up? I mean, if we was to go down the line, what are you gonna do, Randy? If Randy and Kevin open up night one, you're not gonna have that tag team match open up. It's gonna be something that spirals, something that has to build. That's gonna open up that second night.
Because look at their trend. They open up night one with Becky and Rhea title match.
Yeah.
Then they open up night two with Seth and Drew McIntyre.
They did.
Right. So 2 title matches began both nights.
Right.
So if we're gonna follow that blueprint, Jay and Gunther is night one opener.
Right.
Damn
Yeah,
there's a couple of titles up for grabs.
But that if that's in the mid card, that's the show stealer right there.
the mid card. Well,
yeah, of night 2.
I agree. That would be mid card night 2. But I'm just thinking like,
Or Charlotte and Tiffany open up night 2 championship match.
Put that night 1.
Damn.
Charlotte and Tiffany, you got to put that night 1.
Okay, you're right. My bad.
You got to put that night 1. I'm sorry, like, it doesn't hold as much bigger than Io, Rhea, and Bianca right now.
Yeah, no,
I know
right.
Charlotte came back, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I gotta agree, and I think you at this point, Randy, you sold me on the idea that all right, we got to keep the triple threat matches on different nights, and if we do have to do that, I kind of gotta agree with Ken. I think like, I think we have 2 goalposts established.
Yeah,
we have opening. We agree. Let's open WrestleMania altogether with Jey Uso and Gunther. Let Jey Uso, get his moment. Open the night. Travis Scott might come out with him. Who knows? Who knows? Whatever. And then we close.
The heel Travis Scott with the Rock and his people.
You never know.
They're gonna cheer for him.
He's just Travis Scott. He can do what he wants.
He might come out with Bad Bunny, and then you set up Bad Bunny and Travis Scott.
Oh Lord!
Now we're going down a crazy celebrity rabbit hole.
Close
out night 2. Obviously, we know that's Cena versus Cody. We know that.
Right? Yeah.
I think I like where you're going, Kenny, with the idea of having Roman, CM Punk, Seth close out night 1 because it can spill over to night 2. I think there's something about that really intrigues me, and just out of sheer respect, I gotta say, then yeah, we have to open up night 2 with Rhea, Bianca, and Io Sky. Have to. Like the great Ric Flair said it himself, if you don't go first, you want to go last. I think that if you don't go last, you want to go first. That's what he said.
Words of Ricky Bobby.
Yo, for me. So I feel like, and even out of like just to make sure the energy's there, Randy, I think that I don't know which night you put it, and I know we were supposed to, stick to just those 4 matches. I think Randy versus KO has to be in the middle to keep the energy going.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's night 1 or night 2. We can talk about that, but I think that match has a lot of weight to it. And it's interesting. The one match, and I actually want to hear from y'all on this one too. Like, where do you put a Braun Breaker? Like, do we
I would just gonna say
night 1.
They might if a championship match. If they do a multi-man ladder type of joint, then that I could see that starting off like a night 2 of Mania.
Do we have any idea who's gonna be?
I have no idea what they're gonna do with Braun. Can they do a multi-man? I think they can get a couple guys for multi-man, but I think outside from those matches, the KO Randy, the Drew, Damian Priest, I don't know what Dom is doing. I know what Liv is doing. I know what Finn Balor's doing. Rey Mysterio, which is a lot of holes to plug in.
And it's a lot.
LA Knight, he just won the U.S. title again.
LA Knight, that's right. Forgot about
it. He hasn't. Was he at WrestleMania last year?
He did. He faced off against AJ.
And AJ is gonna get Logan Paul at Mania.
He faced off against AJ.
There was no belt though, right? Between LA
it was just a fight. It was just a fight.
Right. So this year it's got to mean something else. I don't know if that means he gets Shinsuke again, which I'm kind of over.
They didn't utilize that with Shinsuke. We already seen it. We didn't build no more about it. So
yeah, I don't know. But yeah, there's what I will say. It just sounds like an embarrassment of riches.
Yeah,
you can just go so many ways, But there are a lot of titles to kind of, they all have to be included. It's WrestleMania.
You got the women's IC title, the women's US title, Chelsea Green, Valkyria. Where we gonna? The tag team titles. I'd probably Liv and Raquel defend the tag titles at Mania.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot. So, Triple H got a he got some,
Yeah.
How many
he got
weeks
a hard
out?
job.
5? Are we
Who?
5 weeks out? How many weeks out from Mania?
Probably
6 or 7.
you probably about a little more than a month.
Yeah,
Yeah, like 5, right? 5 or 6.
Yeah,
5 or 6. It's April what 12?
yeah. I know April 19th, 20th.
Oh, my bad. I'm way off.
Yeah, it's a little more than a month,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
it'll be before you know it.
it
You know
will.
what I mean? So we kind of ran down what I was gonna bring up. So I'm at the last portion. Nothing crazy, but like I did see Seth say he's gonna retire at 45. He ain't wrestling after that. AJ's gonna retire before 50. So you got a couple years left for AJ Styles. I thought that was very interesting. But I wanted to bring up probably the last point, and because you mentioned Sean, I think Terrence, you mentioned Sean with the first iteration of Sean, then the second one with him coming back, and CM Punk's return. And no way am I comparing this to Sean. Well, what I'm saying is he's been back for over a year now. The kind of matches he's been in: strap match, Hell in a Cell, War Games, Elimination Chamber, Steel Cage. Like for a guy who's been away for 10 years, is really getting his hands dirty. He's grinding, and he's scrapping with these guys in these
Right.
kind of matches. It seems like the second go around of CM Punk, probably not right now, but like Sean's second run, it could rival his first run. Because some say Sean's second run from '02 to 10 is like, whoa, that can be better than the one that ended in 98 and started in 89, 90 with the Rockets.
Right.
That is a heavy debate. CM Punk's second go around now, and it's like, yo, especially now if he does this and main events, WrestleMania, and gets championship, and then all that, this second run of Punk could rival the first. Do you feel that way? Do you see it that way? I know he had the long ass 400+ day run of champion. That's a big old check mark. But do you feel this go around of Punk with these kind of matches and his age, that he still got a lot left in the tank, and there's more to come with this second run?
I think so. I think it's still a few much, especially after his hiatus. I think it's still a lot more. I mean, we saw from yesterday. He took one hell of a bump yesterday at
Yeah.
MSG. I was just like surprised at his age. The people on my side, they were yelling, "Yo, Punk, you 48. Don't do this no more, man." So it was funny, but I think it's interesting to see, someone like Punk. He's able to give that, and it will be very well to get for him. So I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to it. So I think it will go pretty well.
T,
That's
what do you
what to
think? What do you think? You think this second go around of Punk can rival the first? Does it mimic Sean to you?
It's interesting. I mean, up until this point, I do like where you're going, where it's like somehow, some way, someone who's of that caliber, who's that good, figures out, okay, how do I not reinvent myself, but come back even sharper?
Yeah.
Like that's how
And
you
work smarter, not
Yeah,
harder.
like it feels like you could really tell when somebody's mastered their craft,
Mhm.
when they can do even more. You know what I mean? In less time, or again, like sharper ways, and I feel like we know what he is. You can make a case that he's top 5 on the mic ever, right? Like you can make a case. You can make a case that in ring abilities, he just understands again the psychology. He's not that limited. He's actually fun to watch.
Mhm.
Obviously, at 46, he's not what he was at 26 or even 36, but it's not boring. You know what I mean? And so again, he does with what within he can do physically, he gives a lot. And it's funny too, because I think when he first came back, he did say, I want to earn this. And to
Yeah.
your point, he is earning it. He's earning everyone's respect. It is interesting to see him now become the locker room leader, particularly for like the younger people. So I mean, in that regard, I can see the parallels. I think we need a couple more years of him at this level before I could be like, yeah, you know what, it's just as comparable because yeah, it's only been not has it been a full year?
I mean, he got back in 23 Survivor Series, so more like a year and a half.
Okay, I was trying to remember.
And the one thing that Sean, if you go back, is a major difference. Damn, I had a good point. He was only champion one time in that whole 8-year run. He had one heavyweight championship
Elimination champion.
reign,
Elimination,
and that was it.
2002.
So Sean was putting banger after banger after banger.
He didn't need it. To his own admission, so he's talked about it, where Sean said that he was offered it a couple times in that second run.
Mm-hmm.
And he just felt like, I don't need it. And I think he was really, I don't want to, disrespect anybody, but we all know some OGs in their time who would never put anyone over the way Sean would, and never realized that like my legacy doesn't need a title the way Sean does. Like you said, like it didn't matter whether he won against Undertaker. In fact, it set up the way he could actually leave and it be one of the most memorable, final matches of all time.
Word.
Like, just understanding where you are and where you are in the business. Again, that's why I'm saying, like, for CM Punk, let's see how this goes. I don't know that he will need that many other accolades other than headlining a WrestleMania. Because what else hasn't he done? So for him, it's not even so much about like, okay, I need another title. One more would be good. I don't know where he is, where he ranks amongst like how many times he's won. I think to your point, having the 400+ day reign is good enough, or at least puts him in a specific sphere of conversation. So yeah, one more. I could see him maybe.
So one more title reign, you're saying at least one more title reign.
Anything, to be honest, I don't know. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts. I don't know that he needs to be one of the faces, but I could see him being a world heavy. Like I don't think that he needs.
You mean the Gunther title or
right?
The Cody title?
The Gunther title. I don't think he needs the Cody title, but does he need it? And if anything, hear me out, and this will be the last thing I say about it. I think giving him the Gunther title the same way starting it with Seth gave it a level of credibility, putting it on CM Punk also gives it a level of importance that it wouldn't be a disrespect to him. If anything, the fact that he's holding it and he cares about it only elevates it. And I want to hear what y'all thought.
That's tough because if Punk never got hurt, he will be world heavyweight champion like today or within the last year. He would have won a WrestleMania 40 for the title. So he would have been on that path. I see him now on the path for the Cody title with the John Cena, the Roman Reigns, and the Cody. That company, he's going there. That's for me because now with draft coming up, does CM Punk go to SmackDown now? In order for you to go for Cody's title, Cody on SmackDown now. Right? Because you ain't going to put Cody on Raw and then put the Gunther Jay on SmackDown. I think Punk goes to SmackDown and goes in that vein because Roman Reigns is on SmackDown. Right. And Paul Heyman is on SmackDown. So they're veering him this way when it was supposed to be this way. Does he need another championship? I think out of 10, like a 6, 7, 8. Like, yeah, you need one more title reign. You need to main event WrestleMania. You need to walk in WrestleMania as a champion in the main event. That's just what I see for Punk. Because he walked in WrestleMania 28 as champion against Jericho, but they weren't the main event. And none of us can tell me what the fuck happened in that match. Because it don't stick out. Him and Jericho like that. So the more of the needs is like, all right, does he need to win the Royal Rumble? Probably not. Need to win Money in the Bank? Probably not. But need to win a championship? One more? Yeah. The Cody title? Yeah. And main event WrestleMania. And then walk into Mania as the champion in the main event. So to your point, I'm looking up how many times he was champion.
I'm looking it up too.
All right, he the two-time WWE champion and a 3-time world heavyweight champion. So a 5-time champion total. So he needs to get at least 1 or 2 more in this realm.
In the Netflix era.
That's right, the Netflix era, the undisputed championship. Like he needs to get that and get it popping, man. What's up?
I say give him one more. I agree with T's point. If you give him the Gunther Championship, it puts a little more respect onto it. Instead of making it, giving it the grade as a.
And then what? Punk's gonna be what? Jey Uso?
No.
No.
I want to say something real quick.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it happens within the next 3 months. I'm not saying that that's the feed we get next. Because I'm saying if you look at Sean, right, like he was always in that level of conversation. You weren't gonna. So to that point, I get you where it's like you weren't gonna put a world heavy on Sean. So if you're saying that's the reason, you wouldn't give him that title? I get it, and I respect that. I'm saying that down the line, if that's, I think it would mean more to the company, and to the business, if he elevates that title. As opposed to, because he's CM Punk. He's over for the rest of his life. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care if in 10 years and he's not wrestling anymore and he walks out and that music hits.
People going to change.
Personality hits there. Everyone's singing it. You know what I mean? So I'm saying, like, in that same Sean vein, Sean didn't need it. He turned it down a few times because he knew, no, this is Brock's time. This is Roman and CM, and this is their time. They need it for the business. They need it. I don't need it. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, so I think CM, if we're comparing it, give him one more run as a thank you to all you've done, and like a kind of like a culmination as like you are welcomed back. The locker room accepts you. You are doing all the right things. You have matured. You have grown up. Whichever title that is, remains to be seen. I guess we'll figure that out. If it were, up to me, I think there's a lot of, it's real crowded at the top, and I think you do move forward with the young generation. And when I say younger, I even mean the Codys, the Romans, even the Seths and the Gunthers, because I think once Gunther drops it, he has to move up. You know what I mean? So I'm saying there's a lot of room for the younger generation to come up. So if he does get one more run, it shouldn't be a long one. But if you give him the world heavy and you throw a mic in front of him, let him hold that shit for fucking ever and then go up against all the young guys and whoever dethrones him. Imagine, again, Kenny, my bad, I will hand it back to you. But imagine, let's call it 5-6 months from now. I'm making it up. Imagine CM Punk somehow, wins the world heavy, and it's Braun Breaker who then beats him. Braun Breaker beating him as opposed to going up against Jey Uso again, beating him, which one means more? Now Braun is on a fucking rocket ship, even more than what he already is.
Right.
And you add in the Paul Heyman aspect that we talked about in the beginning of the show. Whew. Now we're cooking with motherfucking gas. Like, that shit would be crazy because now you got 2 Paul Heyman guys. And again, where does Paul land? Like, I'm just fantasy booking, making it up, but I'm giving it to say, like, yo, you give him that belt, it means more. And then it really says to the business and to the fans, hey, look, I've matured. Look what I did on my way out for the business. Sorry, Kenny, I just had to.
Oh, no, you're good.
Hey, all means, always to add to the wrestling multiverse, that's all good. But I see that, like, way down the line, Punk wins it from whoever it is. It don't have to be Jay, but like it gives more credibility to it, and it'll like give it more the respect that it has, when Seth had it. So I see that down the line. I don't know when. It may be next year. It may be next year. I mean, it may be 3 years from now, or 2 years from now, excuse me. But that's what I think. It's gonna, like T said, like when Sean got the title, I don't think you don't need championships to solidify your legacy. Punk's legacy speaks for itself, like Sean's legacy speaks for itself. So, the impact as it is, when you hear their music, their catchphrases. That's already your legacy right there, and it grows grows even without us seeing it.
That's a fact. Any surprises surprise appearances at Mania.
Ooh, which one? If so,
Which one? Shalimar, thank you for the question.
which match?
No, I'm just in general. I think that if you had to pick 3 people who can fucking pop up, I think Becky is one.
Now,
I,
who
I
does she
think she
pop
can
up
pop.
for?
She might pop up in the Charlotte Flair aspect.
That would add something
Fire.
to that.
Yeah,
Fire.
because why would she show up in the Rhea, even though she lost to Rhea last year and the Rhea's not champion, but she could show up on, and there is beef with her and Bianca. I mean, listen, part of me says Io might walk in and walk out of Mania with the strap.
I'm not mad at that either.
I'm not mad at that either. I can
think
see that.
There's a good chance that she's gonna walk in, walk out as champion. Bianca and Rhea continue their beef and everything, and Io goes get somebody else.
Yeah, she carries the belt.
Yeah. Becky could be one. I'll put the question back up. Becky,
I think
2.9% Brock Lesnar.
that's against
Because
who?
my thing is this. Let's just say if Jey Uso does not win, just say Gunther's always wanted the Brock Lesnar match. So what if Gunther beats Jey? Which would be bullshit, but let's say Gunther beats Jey.
Right.
And then fucking Brock's music hits.
Music comes
boom.
On.
Now, to Terrence's point about making the World Heavyweight Championship mean something, if Brock does come down at Mania and challenges Gunther or pops up on Gunther, oh shit, Brock. Now I'm more interested in Gunther's championship reign now because Brock is next. But
right.
if Jey Uso wins, Jey Uso wins.
Yeah.
But Brock, Becky, you have to pick one more.
Give me a hell yeah.
I mean, is that surprising though?
I mean, they'll just make it up for what we thought
They keep
last
teasing.
year.
They keep teasing this Judgment Day new member kind of stuff.
Yeah, who's the new member? We already had this discussion.
They keep saying Black.
Al Black, yeah.
Aleister Black, I think. And nobody else I could think of who's there's nobody else that can pop up and be impactful. Like I could say Ric Flair might pop up in the main event, but he ain't scrapping. Like, who you got? Who you think?
I said before I think Trick Williams might come in as a new member.
But is that surprise? I think what Shalimar's asking is someone you haven't seen in a very long time. I mean, listen, Becky. Becky. We're talking about Becky might pop up in the Seth CM Punk joint, and AJ Lee. You don't know
AJ Lee. Oh boy.
Yeah. That was my one. I thought if anything.
Yeah. Okay.
That's really it. That I could think to be like, ooh, like shock factor.
Right.
We're not saying like Hulk Hogan, some shit like that.
Oh God, no!
Please no.
Yeah, please.
No
I like how we
Hogan,
both said it. Please,
no Taker, no. Nah, who you got? T? Who might pop up?
You said it earlier, actually. You know who would be kind of crazy if they popped out? I don't know which match.
Okay.
I don't know which reason, but maybe Bad Bunny. What if Bad Bunny pops out during the Damian Priest, the Damian Priest match?
A Drew McIntyre match.
I guess Drew.
Oh, and he like hits one of them with the Kento stick.
I think Drew would have to win, right? He can't take a L at Mania again, right? Can he? Cause that's the revenge with him and Priest from last year.
True.
And
he's been losing a lot, like a lot.
Who, Drew?
Right? Hasn't Drew been? Keep me honest here, but I'm pretty sure he's been losing a lot. But I think Bad Bunny popping out would be a surprise because he'd mix it up. He'd want to get involved. So that would be kind of fun.
I think they're gonna kick Finn out at Mania of Judgment Day.
Oh,
and then the new member comes in.
Real quick, what if?
I think I may know. What's up?
What if they kick Finn out and the Demon comes in? and he's the new member.
Oh,
This is like
well,
Steve Urkel and Stefan Urkel.
All right,
Stephon
fine,
Urkel.
maybe. Sorry.
Ah!
Hold up.
Oh
Oh,
boy.
true. What if Big E comes back?
I mean, I'm not opposed for it. It's just, is he ready? And would it not just be something as a?
Come on, man. Don't be
Just to get a-
sour.
I'm not being sour. It's being. Is it not like you just want to make sure he's back and not just a crowd pop? That's it. Not just for a
True,
pop.
because
That's
right now
it.
you can tell me on March 11th, what is New Day doing at WrestleMania?
They probably competing for maybe something within the tag team titles,
The
or
tag titles again for the 45th time?
or do something against they're facing off against someone positive because I don't know. They faced off against Rey Mysterio in the Garden. They won over them, but so it's probably going to be someone else new.
They're in this area. I guess so. Bad Bunny lives in Reno.
No, I think he's talking about
Who?
Stone Cold. I think.
Oh yeah, Stone Cold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're in
Austin
Stone Cold.
gonna
Austin
drive.
lives in Nevada.
Yeah, that's like down the block. So
I feel like you mentioned too AJ Lee. I would imagine she might pop out.
I think AJ, Becky, Barack, Aleister Black might be the ones that you could. What? Rusev, Miro,
Ooh, Rusev.
Ray Phoenix.
You think they debut him at? Yo, no funny. That would be kind of hard because
Fire. That'll be
I
fire.
think we're gonna get some sort of like probably Penta versus Chad Gable.
Chad Gable was the luchador.
Right.
yes, right.
And then that would be kind of cool to pop out with Ray Phoenix and like have him run down, interfere at Mania.
to help Penta.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate that. I wouldn't hate that. I
Penta's
think he
good.
deserves an NXT run. Ray Phoenix, I would put him in NXT if I'm being honest. Just NXT is really strong. That's not a knock. It's just to give him his shine and let the crowd, let the WWE crowd really get to know him and love him.
Yeah.
But I would love to see him like pop out, like just debut at WWE. I mean, at WrestleMania.
Real quick, Drew needs a real World Heavyweight Championship run in 25. Long overdue. Listen, I
Agreed.
agree because the
Agreed.
pandemic fucked up Drew McIntyre.
Man,
That was supposed to be his time, his moment, and then that shit came in, and nobody was in the arena. So, again, like Terrence said, yo, it's crowded at the top. Who's gonna, bro? There's so many people on two hands. You could say that could be valid world champions right now, and there's so much room for only so much amount of people. Marcus, acknowledge him. That's right. Yo, I'm outside the Garden last night. Some dude with that drives you around had the music blasting, all the theme songs, Cena, Seth, Roman, and everybody was like, yo, at OTC, put the ones up. I see people coming out the Garden like man far away with the ones up. It was like for like 5 minutes straight. I'm like, only in New York, bro. Only outside the Garden you can have the sing-alongs and people blasting wrestling theme music on a nice day.
That's New York.
One hell of a like drone shot. Imagine the WWE would have been outside and caught fans walking out with the ones, throwing the ones up. I'll
tell you one thing. That drone shot of Seth and Punk on top of the cage, that was
fire.
I was like,
yo, you guys are making me. I might go back and watch Raw again after this.
I feel it was really one of the. It was really fire, man. Especially
Rusev just got his lady back, and he's feeling good right now. That's right. They're back together. Yeah. I really think it's Becky, Brock, Ray Phoenix, Aleister Black.
We should throw one
AJ.
more. AJ. That's
AJ Lee,
right?
Yeah.
That's a solid 5. One of them has got to pop out.
I mean, I don't think you need them to pop out of Mania because you do have the Raw after Mania. That's where people come out and do all that. So you want to save a couple surprises for the Raw after Mania. Yeah. I don't. No, this is a very interesting time, fellas. Very interesting time, and looking forward to it. Now you feel like it's Mania season.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is Mania season. It's still cooking.
You know what's so good about it right now is that even though, of course, he's involved, like it almost everything's mixing up and happening. You don't even need the Rock there because I feel like last time, like the Rock had to kind of be there, like we had to be invested.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like because
Yeah.
he's involved without having to really be there. So it's like so much is just happening. But I think didn't they say Cena is gonna be at SmackDown?
No, Raw.
Raw next
On
week
Monday.
in
Raw.
Barcelona or in Spain, excuse me.
So speaking of that, real quick, I said before y'all go, are y'all watching Raw live the next few days, next few weeks, because
Okay.
it's airing live in the middle of the day. It is at 3 p.m.
It
on the
is.
next few Mondays. 3 p.m.
I
So
will be
to
at
answer
work.
that, we're probably just gonna do the post shows on Tuesday because we're 3 o'clock my time is 12 p.m. Terrence's time. So he's out. Kenny's got a job, he's a teacher or whatever.
Yeah,
And he's working, so count him out. So I'll probably just wait till Tuesday night to recap the next 3 Monday Night Raws, which is damn. And the first Raw that they come back to the States in April, the first one in April, is in Chicago,
home of Punk.
home of a certain guy. Yeah.
And do you on
Imagine him on a microphone in Chicago.
all three of them are going to be there.
They
I
gotta
think
be
you
there.
might
They
get a
gotta be there.
standing ovation in Chicago before he says anything.
They gotta be. They gotta be there. And I want to say this last point. Seth Rollins is like really that dude. I don't think he doesn't. I think he's still a bit underappreciated. I said before, he's like the macho man of the modern era.
That's a good.
You know what I'm saying? Like Roman is like the Hogan of on that wavelength, Cody, whatever. Because if you need a good match, Seth Rollins.
I agree.
You want to be in a main event? I need a triple threat. Give me Seth Rollins. You want to go for the world title and Seth Rollins. Like he's the guy that's always around. That's gonna give you a great match, whether it's the same size, taller, short, main event, first match, story, no story. And I get people could say about the gimmick, and I think the gimmick just adds to. I think this gimmick has fit him the most for him, but just seeing like the whole evolution of the character and the beef with CM Punk, and now with Roman Reigns, like he's very good on the microphone. I just feel like he's still, even in 2025, a guy who's been in this company for what, over 13 years with the Shield, 2012, still underappreciated, still undervalued. And I know it's weird to say of a guy who's been a multiple champion and Money in the Bank and Rumble, still, you can still be underappreciated because you really give out a lot of good matches to a lot of people and you put over a lot of people. Like, just as good as Punk is in this beef, has to go 50% towards Seth Rollins as well. And I think when you see everything culminate with him, Punk and Roman at Mania, Seth is going to play a large part into all of this. I just want to know what do you do with him after WrestleMania. Like, I hope he don't get lost in the shuffle when Punk goes do his thing, and then Roman does his thing, and John does his thing, and Cody. Where is Seth? That's the magic question. What is Seth doing? Don't put me in Drew McIntyre again. Don't put me in Gunther, Jey Uso for the title, maybe. But unless I told you 40 minutes ago, I spearhead into me and Roman until we get Roman and Punk later on. I think Roman's the next wave that can get me to the SummerSlam. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. Okay, night one main event. Boom, let's do it.
I think that will cook. What
do you think, T?
Well, no, I think Kenny, you had an idea.
I was just agreeing like it will cook. Go ahead, T.
I think there's almost like a duality in everything you just said, Randy, because yes, he is under. It is hard to say, but he is a little bit underappreciated, I think, in the grand scheme, because while no one would ever bat an eye at putting him in the same conversation as a Cody, as a Roman, as a CM Punk, and that's why he works, right? It's that versatility that kind of leaves you with like, yeah, but what do we do? Because you're right, like, okay, like we can stick him here, 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 and he adds a level of gravitas and what have you to every match he's in. But it also feels like, but when is it going to be him as the focal point? And that's kind of like the, you know what I mean? Like, you know, because it's like I don't think anyone would be upset at him being, you know, the Universal Champion. No one would be mad about it. He's that good.
And he's a guy, if I'm wrong, tell me, who he has not main evented WrestleMania in like a singles match.
Has he not?
Did he?
Because if you're gonna count the cash in, you want to count which is triple threat.
Yeah.
Right? Last year was a tag match. 39 was Roman Cody. 38 was Brock and Roman.
Yeah.
37 Daniel Bryan, Edge, and Roman. 36 was the pandemic one. 35 was Becky, Ronda, and Charlotte. 34 was Brock and Roman. 33 Roman Taker. 32 Roman and Hunter. 31 triple threat with the cash in. 30 was Daniel Bryan, Orton, and Batista. So Seth has not main evented
as on his own.
A singles, yes.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and as somebody who has, you know,
but you would think if you tell me, Seth Rollins, he must have main evented WrestleManias. Off top of your head, yeah, come on, bro, you got like three WrestleManias.
But if you're being fair though, right? Like, and this is no disrespect to him because the cash in meant a lot. Last year's meant a lot.
Yeah,
I don't think that would you replace anyone in the WrestleManias that we've had where the main event wasn't him.
And again, going to the Punk injury, that would have been it for both of them. It's CM Punk, Seth Rollins would have main evented night one of Mania if Punk did not get hurt. So I would have killed two birds with one stone. Both you guys get your main event in the same match.
You're talking about for 40.
40, yeah.
Yeah, 40 was
in LA.
Because even Seth opened up
he did against
35 against Brock.
Oh, Brock.
Title. Remember that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just a matter of it's just an embarrassment of riches, man. I know I've said it like 4 or 5 times. It's just like they have the problem that every coach, every GM, you know, every talent booker would love to have. Is like, I have too much talent. What do I do? The story has to be the most important. They all can't be champion at the same time. That being said, I'm in total agreement with you in terms of like he deserves a real run. He's already done. He does. He's the workhorse. I know that was kind of like what they were giving him the moniker as when he had the world heavyweight title, and they started it off with him, and that's why he said, my title is the workhorse title. You know what I mean, to Cody. But he is the workhorse. Anything the company needs him to do, he gets it done. Anything, and honestly, there's a lot of things that I don't know if there is a more versatile guy at the top where he could kind of go in any direction and make it work as well as Seth Rollins does.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Any last points, Kenny, before we wrap up?
I say that I would say after this, we see Seth face off against Roman. Okay. After Mania, Drew McIntyre. I'm just
hold on, time out.
What?
So are we in agreement that Punk wins at WrestleMania?
I think Punk wins at WrestleMania because based off of Seth and Roman's all personal hate with each other. I mean, that's a triple threat of hate, but I think their own hate towards each other might cost themselves as well. Punk's Rollins is he's going to be shifted to Roman. Roman's just going to be on the other end. So,
and you know what, T? Just showing how
happen.
valuable Seth is. You know who's taking that pin?
Seth.
It
Right.
ain't Roman Reigns.
It ain't Roman.
Right.
Roman Reigns.
I mean, notice that what was it? Throughout this whole encounter between Seth and Punk, what is it? You know, Seth, what he lost twice. The only time, and with the help with the cage match, he didn't take no pin. He just lost inadvertently. You know, being pulled out. So he still won. You know, inadvertently, but not taking a pin or so, or defeat.
Listen, even to the point where when Cody debuted back in the company, who was the guy?
Seth.
The one guy who had no match at WrestleMania 38, had nothing to do. He could have just went home and chilled.
But
I
nope.
don't know. Boy, I got day off. WrestleMania, I got day off. All right.
Okay.
Oh, we got somebody coming for you.
Yeah, I think you'll work well with him. Okay.
Of course. Who else was Cody going to come back and get? It's Seth. Logan Paul, the new YouTube. Hey, you know it would be a great idea, Logan Paul. You know who you should get at WrestleMania? Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
You know, be a great tag team partner, Cody. To get against Rock and Roman, Seth Rollins.
Indeed. That.
And to
You're making all the points.
To drop it to Drew and make that thing last year. And I'm just saying he's vital to the operation. It's just a log jam at the top to have your own time. Like it's crowded. And like you said, it could be a good thing and a bad thing. It's crowded at the top, bro.
I mean, I think it speaks to, again, like even some of the other top guys, they're not as versatile. They have to be either like their storylines can't involve them not going after a title.
Yeah.
To their credit, I think you can say like CM Punk and Roman Reigns, like, you know, they're obviously as good, right? So like that's why a match between the three of them doesn't need a title, and it's in the headlining conversation.
Yeah. And your man took 3 L's to Cody Rhodes. Back to back.
Who, Seth?
Yeah, he lost to Cody. He's 0-3 against Cody.
Yeah.
Mania, the Hell in a Cell with the Peck, and there was some other joint before that.
I feel like it was a show on Raw. No, it wasn't Raw.
Oh, Cody. No, I think it was one of those. Hold on, Cody versus Seth. Let me see. Okay, definitely WrestleMania. Can you tell me what show this was? Hell in a Cell.
Hell in a Cell, WrestleMania.
Backlash. And then
which
Backlash in 22. So Mania, Backlash, Hell in a Cell. That was the 3 matches they had. And he took the L in all 3 of the matches.
And you know what's interesting though is like it doesn't hurt him. He's still Rollins. You know what I mean? Like whereas
still gonna get that pop, get that reaction.
Roman can't take the pin. You know what I mean? Like CM Punk at this point, with where they're trying to push him, he can't take the pin.
Or Cody.
I think can't take the pin.
Well,
not yet.
He's gonna.
Cody can't take the pin versus Seth right now.
Oh no.
Right,
John Cena. Yeah.
John
right.
Cena. Yeah.
But again, that's a problem. I think we were all getting a little bit. I can't speak for like us 3, but I'm saying the collective. We all are getting a little bit bored with because Cody on the rise, and after the finishing the story was a little bit more interesting than like, okay, Cody has the title. Before the match with KO, I don't think he really had that great of of a run.
Mhm.
Personally, like I there weren't that many matches that made me feel like, oh wow, like he's killing it right now. It was more the chase than it was
Yeah.
him holding the title.
Mm.
Triple H don't want to send the crowd home sad after Gunther beats the brakes off Jay Punk.
Oh my God.
Seth Roman night one main event. Jay Gunther co-main event.
You can't co-main that. That's too hot. You can't put that right. You can't. You're gonna put Jay and Gunther right before the triple threat match. Oh, I mean, you got to put that either first or last. We already know that's not going to be last. You got to put that first.
I mean, that's why I said mid card.
Jay and Gunther mid card.
When I say mid card, like listen, if you have 8 matches on night one, just for example, 7-8 matches, it could, I'm not saying third or fourth. It can go 6th. It can go 5th. Then a little break in between, and then the main event. Hold up. Rio, Io, Bianca should be in the convo on main eventing. See how the story cooks. What did me and Terrence say earlier? I think there's still more meat to the bone off of that to see. Hey, maybe, just maybe that can main. Because I think Io would win the match, but now if that's the main event,
right,
then I think we have a new champion.
Mm.
Oh wow!
I think
what's the feeling behind that, Randy? And who do you think becomes champion if that's the case?
I just feel like if you're gonna main event something, I think the title changes hands. That's just my now. Cody and Roman won at 39 was different because that was a bigger storyline, bloodline.
Yeah.
Like I feel like main event is like shit gonna pop off or a title change. Like you get a return, you get a come back or title change, shit like that is for the main event.
I got one wrench to throw in that. And I'm gonna use something we talked about earlier to throw a wrench in it. I think
he's saying Seth won't be cool with taking the pin. Well,
he better.
Okay, is there?
Let's focus. I want to focus on that Io, Rhea, Bianca.
I'll come back to you in 2 seconds. Is there a world where Seth wins at Mania and then like Punk takes the L?
No,
takes the pin.
Seth ain't gonna win at Mania, respectfully.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm gonna be honest. I think it's still super up in the air. Because to your point, Randy, sometimes Triple H comes out of nowhere, throws something that we don't expect, and rewards. You know what I mean? Rewards the person he feels like deserves to be rewarded. We've seen it. And everyone is expecting either Roman to win for all the reasons or CM Punk to win for all the reasons. So what if this is his opportunity to say, like, yo, CM Punk, you guys know. You think if we could say this on the show, they don't recognize us? They know. Seth, you've been the workhorse. You've been the thoroughbred. You've been the guy that as long as your wheels are intact and you're not hurt, you're in every night. So here's the opportunity. Here's the chance. We're gonna elevate you once more.
And that can start the Roman Punk saga,
right?
And then Seth goes world title picture like this.
100%.
Get me away from these guys. Y'all
Seth
beef
does
over here.
a double curb stomp at Mania and pins Punk.
I'm not mad. You wouldn't be mad at it. He's in the conversation.
Roman Reigns ain't taking no pin. So it's either Punk losing, taking the L, Roman winning, or Seth Rollins. Punk is going to take the L or Seth Rollins. It's not Roman Reigns.
Wow.
Okay. Io Scott.
Yeah, I was going to say, if we're going to go that route and we're going to, put them in the main event for night one, I think somehow, some way, the monkey wrench and everything that's when Becky comes back and costs whoever was about to pin Io, costs them the belt. And now Becky's back in the conversation because let's say it's Rhea, or Bianca, whoever it is, that's about to, pin Io for the 1, 2, 3. In comes Becky. She interferes somehow. Io then wins, which I wouldn't love because I want Io to win clean, but it also then allows for
another story.
Yeah, it branches the stories off, and I think the one criticism that people have had with the women's division and the main roster is that the storylines aren't as good or as detailed as the men's. So now you add Becky back, right? Throw her in the conversation, her and Rhea, or her and Bianca. I'd actually prefer her and Rhea. Honestly, I don't know. Wherever we put her, let's not go down that rabbit hole just yet. But that would, to your point, Randy, it would be a good way to let Io get her run, bring Becky back, and now we get some real detailed, storylines out of it. Because you guys saw that promo that Rhea cut after she lost. She gave some depth. She gave some character, even more than just like her being I'm brolic and angry.
No friends.
It was like cool. Nothing. Like let's maybe she lets her emotions get to the best of her again, and Becky does something and it triggers her and like she loses that way. I don't know, but I'm saying like I think that it would add to something. So if we do go down that route, Randy, and they do main event, I feel like we get a run out.
Can anybody remind me what was the story of Becky being written off TV? Like she didn't leave with beefing with somebody, right? Or someone injured her kayfabe and like she had to go away. Like what was the story with Becky?
Wasn't it the last match she faced off against Rhea at last year's Mania? That was it. She's been off for a minute.
That's a hot minute. Like somebody talk about a whole year.
Yeah, and she's been writing her book and then talking about
Becky
her kids.
Lynch. Last match.
I think you're right, Kenny. I think part of it was her writing her book, and then like just spending time with her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, WrestleMania was
last year.
Okay, I'm trying to see the Piper, Becky Lynch. Am I bugging? They're saying that her last match was, if I got this correct. Okay, April 6th was WrestleMania, but her last match was May 27th. Liv Morgan defeated Becky Lynch when in the cage when Liv was champion.
Oh wait, I think what was it? Was it at Crown Jewel? One of the events, and that's when Liv won the title.
No, because Liv beat Rhea.
No. Rhea was injured.
Remember, Rhea had to vacate it.
She vacated the title, and
they
had a tournament. Yeah, you're right.
So Liv beat
at the King and Queen of the Ring. Liv beat Becky.
Right.
At Saudi Arabia
for the title.
Right. Yeah,
and then there was a rematch in a steel cage on Raw,
and Becky got written off after that.
Yeah, so she got written off.
Yeah.
Damn. So Liv Morgan, good old Liv Morgan.
Does Becky go after Liv, but this time for the tag titles with a partner?
I don't know.
Yeah,
but
who Becky gonna tag with? Bailey.
I mean, that's an original Four Horsemen partner.
That'd be different because Bailey against Roxanne Mania. I don't know what she's doing.
That's
Bailey. Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's where they're leaning towards.
Yeah,
I didn't know she was gone that long, Becky. Like, damn, bro, you been since May.
I mean, like Henry said, she was writing the book and she wanted to really get time to be with her kid.
Right.
Well,
this is very helpful
too, though. Like you just mentioned in that, like, okay, like we're probably gonna get Roxanne versus Bailey, and we're trying to place where Braun goes. This Mania is gonna be stacked. I don't think we're gonna look back at this Mania and be like, oh, it wasn't that good. Like even the mid cards are gonna be
great.
Pretty right. Like they're gonna be pretty memorable. I feel like it's gonna be one hell of a Mania.
If I was to say this WrestleMania, all right. If I was to say this, WrestleMania 39 was Infinity Wars. If I was to say it was like Infinity Wars, that's because the ending left us all sad. Well, it left the people sad, especially when Cody lost. But then when 40 came about, that was the end game. He's like, all right, the heroes got to win. It's got to win for this one. This time, I don't know, not even a Marvel movie. I would have to say this WrestleMania, it's like, it's like, I don't know. I would like call it, what movie would I, it's like a movie that would have like a thriller or suspense because we don't know what direction it might go. It's so much
an ensemble cast, by the way. Because
yes, I'm thinking movies came to my mind about it is Mirrors, Unusual Suspects, Ghost Ship. I say that because the endings of those movies, those plots.
Ghost Ship.
You remember Ghost Ship? Okay, maybe the movie wasn't good, but the ending to it, the ending to it left you in suspense.
Okay, like a cliffhanger.
Like a cliffhanger, like phone. Remember the movie on phone booth?
Yes,
Colin Farrell. That was one
of my favorites.
That was a cliffhanger. So
yeah,
this Mania is like cinema, as we all said. This is gonna be a cliffhanger type of Mania.
That's right.
So this is gonna be cliffhangers. Now I know Randy doesn't like my Ghost Ship analogy with it, but hey, Ghost Ship left you with a cliffhanger. So this is like we don't know all these predictions. We're uncertain. Last year's WrestleMania was predictable.
If it's the same movie I'm thinking about, that movie was terrible.
Which one?
Ghost Ship. That the promo on the cover, it's a big ship. The horror face in the ship.
Yeah, I know.
Fucking terrible.
Look. Okay, terrible. I know the plot, but at the end, you were like, "Oh, okay, the guy lived and he went back."
Oh, okay, yeah, this shit is over.
I've never seen Ghost Ship, so I'm mad lost right now.
Well, came out in 2004.
Y'all's word for it.
You are not missing much. So Friday after SmackDown, is that the next show?
This Friday
after SmackDown, because obviously Cody will be there. Listen, I ain't mentioning Cody was on Raw last night and all that, but still, I'm pretty sure he'll be on Raw. I'm sorry, he'll be on SmackDown. I would like to think Roman would be on SmackDown. Maybe.
I don't think so.
No,
I think he's going to show up in Spain.
I think he'll pop up. Come on, what he just did on Raw and not show up on SmackDown, like, come on, bro. I think he'll pull up.
I think Cena's gonna show up on SmackDown via Skype or video call.
Cena's on Raw, so they got to put Roman on SmackDown. They got to sell the match, but he can't. Roman's not hurt. He's not. He's chilling. He's good now.
And where's it taking place on Friday?
Like exactly where?
Where's the location?
I don't know.
Because location's key.
Was it March 14th?
No, March. Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of next week.
Barcelona.
Oh, it is
Friday Night SmackDown.
Oh wow, yeah.
I thought it was next week. Wow, I'm all the way lost.
But at least at 8:00 at night, not no fucking 3:00 in the afternoon.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
bro, this shit crazy, man. I feel like some half school program shit.
I'm like, man,
I got a show at 3:00. I'm working.
I'm doing busing around that time. That's when the kids got to go on the bus.
You can follow Kenny Holt as you see on the screen in the lower third. Cowabunga _K_E_N. Follow Terrence Watson at Lower East Scribe. Myself, Rainy J. Cruz, RENDY, letter JCRUZ. Podcasts on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, also on Amazon Music. Go to youtube.com/Cruise Control Podcast. Go ahead, download, rate, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Show some love and support for your boys on the program. Go to prowrestlingtees.com/Cruise Control for the official 2 out of 3 Falls podcast t-shirt. Again, prowrestlingtees.com/Cruise Control. I already got mine. It's coming soon. I don't know about you guys, but
I'm ordering mine.
I have mine for Mania.
That's right. They
got it on black. Do they have a white coming or long sleeve?
Black, just like a real wrestling t-shirt. Everything in black.
Always bet on black.
Who's
Who's the character that said that?
John Cutter.
I know. If you
Passenger
didn't know, y'all,
57.
Randy is the biggest Wesley Snipes fan
That's
in
my
the
shit.
90s.
That's my
Like-
shit. Oh, everybody knows that. Always bet on black. Everybody knows that shit, bro.
Side conversation. This is wrestling. Favorite Wesley Snipes movie?
New Jack City.
T?
Uh,
Come on, Nino Brown's tough, bro. Nino Brown.
White Man Can't Jump.
Okay. I mean, can't you
I
mad
know
at
I'm
that?
a hooper at heart, so White Man Can't Jump.
I respect. I say Blade or Passenger 57.
All good choices.
It's not better than Nino Brown.
Nino Brown. You don't. Well,
You know, hey, Demolition Man's up there too.
Simon
Underrated.
says Simon Dean. Oh man,
Simon Phoenix.
Simon Phoenix. Sorry, I'm thinking of
who's
Simon Dean.
You combine Demolition Man and White Man Can't Jump into one guy. On that note,
Simon
fellas,
Phoenix.
yeah, we've been on for almost 2 hours. I get it. I understand. You work tomorrow, right? You work tomorrow, Kenny?
Yeah,
Damn,
it's
that's
Wednesday. Jesus. Yeah.
Kenny Holt, Terrence Watson, Randy Cruz, appreciate y'all for chiming in with the comments on both X and YouTube. We really appreciate that. We'll chime in. We're coming back Friday after SmackDown, and then we're Tuesday night after. So what? NXT is in overseas too, or?
Oof, that's a good question.
I don't
I don't
know. They're
know.
probably just gonna do it.
Do the main Raw. And okay.
Well, yeah, they'll probably just do NXT and
Oh, they're doing Underground next week, right? Underground.
Is that no? That's next
No,
week.
is it?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, I haven't seen this week's NXT yet, so I don't know.
Well, well, true. Well,
Yeah, I think
That's a good
Underground's next.
question.
Anyway, fellas, love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Great job tonight. I know we're tapping soon for Friday night following SmackDown.
yes, sir.
All right, fellas, enjoy.
Yep.
All right.